Three, two, one. Hey guys, Clothier here, and we're here for another episode of Meet the Speaker with my very good friend Jason Medley. Jason, what's up, brother?
What's up? What's up? Ready to rock the house with you today, Mr. Clothier?
Amen, dude. So, guys, we are doing our last interview here for the Find and Flip Summit that's coming up in 3 weeks, coming to you live here from vacation in Breckenridge, Colorado. And I wanted to get Jason on the line here real quick and just kind of give you a little glimpse about what Jason is going to be sharing at the event. Jason, by those of you that don't know, Jason not only is one of my best friends out there, a guy that I've known for many many years, and has been a trusted business partner and a family friend for a long time now. But he also runs a very very successful mastermind called Collective Genius, which is basically the elite mastermind in the real estate investing space. Everybody who is doing any kind of real business in this space, doing hundreds of transactions, millions of dollars, they're in a room with Jason and his team several times a year sharing ideas. And so, Jason, welcome, dude. Let's share some cool stuff with some people. How about it?
Let's do it, brother. I'm ready. We've been through this journey together, so a lot of stuff we're going to share today has been the result of our friendship, right?
Amen, dude. So guys, as I've explained in other interviews here, our purpose of this event is very simple. There are a lot of people out there that I would define as hobbyists, meaning you're doing 5, 10, 15, 20 deals. You're probably even making a little bit of money at it, but you have an interest in how to go to the very next level where it's truly a business, or there's a lot of automation in place, a lot of processes in place, people in place, leverage in place. People are doing deals with or without you in place, right? That's when things start to get very, very interesting. And Jason is surrounded by those people throughout the year, and has done that in his own business as well. And so I brought him in here and asked him to share at the event, a little bit about his journey, but probably what I would say is the most valuable thing he could be sharing with you is his insight into how to do it right? Because we're going to share all the processes. We're going to show you how to bridge the gap. We're going to show you how to go from doing 5, 10, 15, 20, and potentially get it up to 100, couple hundred over the course of the next 24 months or so. But quite frankly, none of that matters if you don't do it right, because you can end up backing yourself into a position where you absolutely hate your life. And Jason and I have been there, done that. So, dude, let's talk about it a little bit. Let's talk about your journey a little bit and what you plan on sharing at the event.
Sure. I think, just like when Kent started this call, he said the purpose of this call is X, Y, and Z. And I think to parlay off of that is what I'm going to be sharing is that you need to define what the purpose of your business is before you start going down the path of implementing all the systems and processes and everything that you're going to be learning at this event. And there's an important reason why. And probably the biggest reason why is that when you go to, like Kent said, there's going to be a lot of folks in the room who maybe did 5, 10, 15 deals over the last year, maybe 20, 30, whatever it may be. If you really want to scale the business, it's going to be a lot of hard ass work, period. Right? There's going to be a lot of blood. There's going to be a lot of sweat. There's going to be a lot of tears. And if you're not emotionally kind of connected as to why you're doing it, it might be hard to push through some of those very challenging times, right? So what we're going to do when I'm at the event is really try and walk you through a process to help you get dialed into why are you doing it, right? Maybe grab some folks, put them up on stage and ask them those questions, right? Why are you doing? Oh, I want to make money, right? I want to make some money. Well, okay. Why? Well, I don't know. I just want to make money. Why? Right? I'm going to act like a 2-year-old and I'm going to ask you why like 100 times, because in a year from now or 2 years from now, you wake up and you log onto your computer screen and there's more pixels on it now because you've got more money. How's your life any different? And more importantly, through that process, helping you evolve to a place where you understand that your business is a conduit to make an impact on the world, right? It's not just for making money. What are you going to do with the money, right? How are you going to make an impact? How are you going to serve other people? And kind of defining that and walking through the process of understanding what that looks like really will give you the horsepower, the jet fuel that you need as you're growing your business. And I'm even gonna probably turn everybody upside. We're doing this in January, right? What does everybody ask themselves in January, right? How much money am I gonna make next year? How much money am I gonna make? And over the last probably 6 to 7 years, I've started out each year um, asking a very different question, and that is, how much money do I want to give away? Based upon the answer to that question, that tells me how much money I want to make, right? And so instead of in 2015, as I wrap up the year while we're recording this right now, my question is, how much do I want to give away next year? And I don't mean just like giving it away to it, but how much money do I want to contribute towards making the impact on the world? Whether that's a charity project in Haiti through a friend of mine in Kent, Scott Dilly. How can we help fund that? Whatever it may be. It's a various different causes, but how much impact do we want to make on the world? And then how do I create a business that enables me to create that impact and fund that impact, right? And so we're going to talk about really kind of re-engineering your thinking a little bit and helping you come to a place where you understand that that's what your business is for, right? Because you can accumulate things and lots of properties and you can make a ton of money, but you can end up being very unfulfilled if you're not emotionally in tune with why you're doing it, right?
No doubt. I mean, I can tell you that we both know. We know a lot of really successful people that are miserable. And then we
Yeah,
know a lot of really successful people that are living the life that only few ever get to experience. And the difference in them is simply how they define success and
right.
how they've built their business accordingly. And the people that go out and build a business where they're chasing money, where it's all about the money, in my opinion, typically turn around and they find themselves at a place where, man, this isn't anywhere near as fun as I thought it was going to be. Versus people that define it, their success and how they're going to create impact, how they're going to spend their time, what are they going to do, and they build a business around that, kind of like what you're talking about. Is oh my God, dude, it's night and day. And
Yeah,
I would tell you that, guys, if you're even remotely on the fence about coming to the Find and Flip Summit, this is reason enough to be there, because this one thing that Jason's going to walk you through, this one exercise of going through this, can fundamentally change everything about the actions that you take moving forward. And those actions that you take moving forward ultimately are going to define the business that you have. And so, again, like I said, Jason runs the most successful mastermind in the industry right now, right? I mean, you don't have to look very far and very hard to find people talking about the collective genius. It is the place where all of the most respected real estate, movers and shakers are hanging out, and they're spending a lot of time together talking about ideas and concepts and things of how to get to the next level. And he's the one putting that together. So the information he's sharing isn't just a product of Jason going through this. This is a product of, man, I've seen it from every angle. And if you want to get to this level, then this is the guy that's going to show you how to do it. So, dude, I'm really excited about what you're going to be sharing.
yeah. I'm juiced about it. I'm actually honored that I get to come instead of talking about growing the business and how folks are doing that. We'll obviously get into some of that and share it as well, but I'm actually honored to be coming to speak about something that's higher level, right? It's really more about who you are as a human being than as a business owner. And I can tell you now, if you don't get a little insight into that and get too deep into a business, it can turn you into a human being that you don't necessarily like, because you can work yourself into a hole that can be difficult to come out of. But I'm super juiced to be coming out, hanging out with you folks, spending a lot of good quality time together, and really helping you dig into the passionate side of business, right? Like when an example would be when I mapped out 2016, and I get a lot of my friends bust my chops because I like to map stuff out, right? But when I map it out, it didn't start with the marketing side or who on my team was going to help me get there, who I was hiring, or how we were structuring Collective Genius. It started with what type of impact are we going to make, right? If all this falls into place and I make X amount of dollars, what can I do with that? How can we make an impact? So when I look at that map, the why I'm doing it, that's where it starts, right? And I'll actually, now that we're talking about it, I'll actually pull that up on the screen when we're there and walk you guys through how I kind of mapped out my year for 2016. And you'll get to see at the very left-hand side, because it flows from left to right, it starts with why. Why are we doing all this? Why am I going to go through all the trouble, all of the blood, sweat, and tears, new systems, scaling the business, new marketing plans, do all that? Why, right? Because of the impact that we can make, and that's really what drives Kent and I both. I mean, he's doing some cool things right now, just like over the holidays. His goal is always, he's had a mission to have 1,000 people get involved in going to Walmart and paying off layaways for people. Right? That's not a good deed. That's a movement. Right? It's not a good deed. That's a movement. Uh, Us this year, we're getting behind Shriners Hospital here in Tampa. They got an international program. They're constantly turning folks away. They can give surgeries to folks in third world country, give surgeries to their children, but if their kids need 2 months to recuperate, their parents can't afford to stay in America for those 2 months. Even when the medical care is free, they can't afford the living cost of staying here for 2 months while their kids are recuperating. So we're going to start buying duplexes for them, rehabbing those duplexes and putting those parents in there, letting their parents stay there for free while their kids are on the mend. And so the business this year for me is growing to be able to fund the purchase of those properties and those ventures with. And so that's what we're going to get into, because it's not only the ability for you to make an impact, but now you have a cause and you have a purpose. And so as you're growing your company, and as you're expecting people to take this ride with you, they're coming in to do more than just check boxes and implement systems and be drones. Right now, they're buying into your vision, into your mission, into what you're accomplishing at a bigger level. And that creates a unification in a company that otherwise isn't there. You
Amen,
know?
brother. It becomes
Yeah.
infinitely easier to recruit anybody. That's partners, clients, customers, anybody into your business when you have a purpose and you have a
Yeah.
vision. And the purpose isn't money. And
No.
it's what it's
No.
dude, I love it. I love it. I don't want you to share anymore because I want people to come to the event to make sure that
All
they
right.
absolutely um, are there to witness it for themselves and kind of immerse themselves in this experience. I mean, you and I are both the product of these events, right?
Yep.
We know the value that happens when you step into a room and you're surrounded by people that are playing at a higher level. Your game gets elevated almost
Yep.
virtually overnight. So if you're watching this, guys, do everything you can to get there. And if you've already booked your tickets, get ready, because we've just given you a little taste over the last few days of how things are going to change in a big way for you. And we take it really, really serious. So, dude, I appreciate it. I will see you in 2 or 3 weeks.
Yep.
Thanks for taking the time out of the holiday to jump on this with me.
All right, brother. It was a pleasure. I'll see you guys in a couple weeks.
See you, man.
Peace.
Peace.